I think I am live. Oh, thanks God for that. Sorry about this delay because I've been sitting here like 5 minutes. My tea, which I made for you, has got to have a tea with you, has gone cold. And then suddenly it's like 2 minutes to go. I thought I will go live quick, a bit faster, just we will wait for everybody else. And suddenly it just wasn't happening. So can you please let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me, and if everything is all right, because I have no way to check it. So, yeah, and hopefully, I think there is, yeah, there is a chance to actually uh, chat with me. So please say something if you would like to. And yeah, so hopefully from now on, I will know better. And actually, I know where the camera is, so I know where to look to see you. So yeah, so that's just about it. So is anybody there? I think there is two people. I can see them. Oh, that's two. But yeah, so um, well, let's start again. Welcome to our afternoon tea with me. And me, that is Tiverton Bead and Wool Shop. And as most of you know, wherever you are in the world, the times have gone really mad and threatening to some people. And yeah, so we are all closed. All our businesses in UK are closed for 2 3 weeks, I think, except post offices, food stores, and pharmacies, or very very essentials like post office. Banks, and I think the local government offices are open, and obviously police and so on. But High Street is closed. So that's why I'm here. And yeah, so what we would like to chat about, yeah, really, I think at the moment, to be honest, this is the first day when it's kind of, I think, has really, for me personally, has finally driven home how serious it is. And I know all the rest of the world's been at it, but finally, I think even with my other half, Martin, we finally have kind of, yes, it is very serious, because otherwise, why would we close everything down? Yeah, kind of starting to repeat myself. So you better ask me questions, because otherwise I will be repeating myself in the circles. So yeah, so it is serious. Please keep safe, stay at home. Like I said, the post office is open. I do mail orders, and that's why maybe at the moment I feel a bit. Uh, I will be fine, but I feel a bit harassed today because obviously the announcement came only last night, and I had slightly different plans for today. That's fine, and I would like to thank if anybody from people who placed mail orders with me last night and this morning, if anybody of you are watching, we do appreciate every small order, because otherwise, when the time comes, we will not be there anymore. But that's not a threat, really. We would love to be there, and we really sincerely hope that we will be there when we come out another side. So yeah, so I was running to town today um, to do my mail orders, and normally, because I'm lucky, I live only like 5 10 minutes, no, 10 minutes walk. Let's say 10 or 15 minutes is a leisurely walk to a shop, so I can really go there without meeting anybody. I can take back streets, so it's all very well. But today, because I didn't need to bring home computer, all this home working stuff, and I wanted to pick up some rules to show you, and the beads and all the rest of it, so I thought I will take a car. And God, it's stressful. Not because of car, but because of parking. And I guess some of you will actually agree with me. Like, they have 9 o'clock, there is half an hour free parking. So I thought, like, I managed that. Then I'm running out. Oh, well, hour will do. No, hour didn't do. Then I paid another hour, and it's all day has been like jumping from one thing to another until I got home. Then it's lunch, and outside is, I would say, really proper spring day. And of course, my other half, without thinking, we have lovely neighbour in allotment, and he promised to put up her tunnel, and she's tiny lady. And of course, I was roped in to help him to put the tunnel up. So after lunch, we've put a tunnel up, and he's still there finishing it off. And I was rushing back, with the coat on through to the park to get back home. So that's why I'm kind of like, oh, I'm fine. The stream is working. I hope you can see me, and front over. So now we can start to think. And what I would like to maybe talk about as well, because this one really would be sharing with you what I will be doing, because except today, hopefully every morning the routine will be to go in, do the mail orders. I will be back by lunch, and I will have a little bit of time maybe to create some, hopefully, fingers crossed, to create something new and try to share with you. And at the moment, there is a couple things in a pipeline. The first things which I would like to show you without knocking that microphone over is, what would be the first thing? Well, I will show you this one. And some of you who follow me on Instagram have seen this one I photographed with our allotment rhubarbs and daffodils. The first forced rhubarb we had under the bucket, and the color was just out of this world. And this one, now in this slide, it doesn't really show, it looks light blue, but this one is gray, and there is nice, this pink. Oh, that's better. Now the colors show more true colors. There we go. And this one is Stephen West's latest shawl called Fanta Stitch. The pattern you can get on Ravelry. You can buy direct from Stephen West, and then you need 7 colors, and I'm using only 6 just purely because I couldn't decide on the 7th. So I kind of dodged it, and at the moment I have decided there's 2 sizes. There is one more size which would add, because this one is the center of the shawl, and that will be the edge, and look, it's nearly the length of my arm, and I still have, oh, don't lose stitches. I still have, I think, approximately this wide kind of zigzaggy border to do with an I-cord finish, which I have never done. So that will be quite exciting. So I'm looking forward to that. So this one, I hope by end of the week, I will finish. And then that's another thing which I thought I will bring home today, but it wasn't on the list, so I didn't, which would be my blocking mats and blocking wires. And possibly I will go again through the finishing of the garments, because I honestly think that that is very, very important for the knitters, just to finish it correctly. Well, not correctly, but I don't know if my way is the correct way, but I think it helps. So yeah, so we're doing Stephen West, and I've been sold out of those books. This copy is my copy, you can't have it. But that's another job I didn't need to do today, but I will do tomorrow. There's always tomorrow. Is I will double check if I can get more of these books in for you. So, because I have started another shawl in this book, which is this one. This one is at the moment has gone as a project number when I feel like. I think it's like some people say, it's, you know, at the moment it's maybe a good time to finish all unfinished objects. So this one is the one object. So, and there, somewhere, oh, I just chuck the things around me. Yeah, this one is the other shawl from the book. And you can see that I have been loving the yellow. And this one in my previous podcast you possibly have seen. But this one is still coming out, still coming out. There's quite a bit done. So that one is another one which I would like to progress on. So yeah, so that's the two projects which I would like to work as soon as possible and finish them. Then another thing is if you, of course, if you would like to, if you go back to our podcast sometime in December, I think it will be number 8 or maybe number 9, you will see me ranting about designers and knitting a skirt. Skirt in roll and felted tweed. And there is no more skirt. There is only felted tweed left. The skirt has been reduced to the balls of wool because I think, if I remember correctly, there's some more felted tweed. So if I remember correctly, I think I got to the row something like 54, and my skirt was curling so badly that I thought there is no way in this world I want to finish it. It was a lovely pattern. There was another little detail which I didn't like, which I didn't know when I started how to overcome, but that came to my attention only later on. So, for example, the skirt was knitted on a round, right? And then, if I show you the chart, sorry about the noise of the bag, but there you have in these books, right? You have a chart. Like somewhere, the chart should open up quite easily. Somewhere. Where's my chart? There somewhere. That's the one chart. That was my skirt chart, right? And when you start, let's say, if you do size, for example, large, which you should start from somewhere there, I realize now you're looking, do you see me in a mirror image? Possibly. And then you knit to the large there, the other side. And then you would continue for the back of the skirt, again from there to there. That's how I understand it. Maybe I understand it wrong. But the problem is that the pattern there, the beginning of the row, doesn't match, the end, you finish in a different place than that. So there is a funny kind of area of kind of gappy, the pattern suddenly jumps somewhere. And I thought like, I don't like it. I thought, it will be fine. So the skirt was curling madly, as a stockinette stitch tube does. But plus, I didn't like how the pattern was forming, because you have like side seams basically looking like. And then I thought something happened, and we have a lovely in a shop. We have lovely jumper sample from Isager yarns, which is all feral panel, like knitted all in one, like a tubular body. And how have they overcome the seam issue where the for various sizes? Because obviously to calculate, if you have various feral panels, to calculate every panel for every size that it fits is nearly impossible, really. What they have done, I wish I had pen and paper. If you don't understand me, please ask a question. But basically, they introduce 3 extra stitches on each end of the row. So what you do, like if you have light and dark color for your feral, you finish your row with stitches dark, light, dark. So you knit to the other end, and you again do the last 3 stitches is light, dark, light. So it creates a straight seam. And even though the pattern now doesn't match before the seam and after, the seam in the middle just makes sense and it looks pretty. So there, if I will ever knit something and I need to do something with this, because I still love these colors. And I did enjoy working with felted tweed. It's nearly one of my kind of favorites. So I would say, yeah, so felted tweed project is coming, but what? I don't know. The other thing, yeah, let's have a couple. Oh, I have lost something. Oh, there is one more ball. No, it's just the other ends. Let's put them back, because otherwise I will have no dining room left. If you want to, you please ask a question, because I can see that there is some of you actually watching me. Hello, hello to everybody. It's so nice. At least I have a few people watching me. So yeah, we will be back with this one. I will try to do it Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, 3 o'clock, because that is the time before we closed the shop. The week before, we were really busy, and when I remembered, I asked people or customers, yeah, well, the customers are people. You know, what time would you prefer, like 11 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the afternoon? And I would say the most of you said 3 o'clock afternoon. I guess because it's this time before you start cooking your tea or dinner, because I don't understand this. I've been explained a few times this, you know, the posh English way. When it's a tea, when it's a dinner, or when it's a supper, and when it's a lunch, and I still mix it up. For me, lunch is lunchtime, which is around 1-ish, and the dinner is 6, 7. Supper, what's that? Sorry, me being ignorant foreigner. So there we go. So at the moment, I'm having afternoon tea. I just don't have the cucumber sandwiches. So what else? Oh, there was one thing which I thought I will have plenty of time now sitting at home. Plenty of time. And there is something, you know, when you feel inspired. Oh, there's one good thing coming with all this. As I'm going live now to have a chat with you, and hopefully we'll be back tomorrow as well, listen to me. It's my favorite place for courses where I go when I want to enjoy myself. The Old Kennels. Hello, Tracy. I'm going for botanical drawing classes there, pencil classes, and I really, really enjoy it, because I have decided that I'm not doing any crafts or learning any other crafts where I need a gear. For knitting, it's easy. You need knitting needles. Okay, you need different sizes or blah, blah, blah. But basically, you can pack your little pouch with knitting needles and you are away. Crochet, same thing. Buy 10 different crochet hooks and you are geared up for life. But there are crafts which I have tried silversmithing, and I did enjoy it. I did enjoy the class. I did enjoy making it. But you need the gear. And where do you put your gear? You know, it's just. So anyway, back to Old Kennels. They have nice Facebook page, I think website as well. And of course, all their courses now are cancelled. My problem there was that only once or twice a year they were running my botanical drawing classes on Mondays when I had my day off. Otherwise, they always had it on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and I couldn't go. So now this one is the good thing which comes out of the bad, with all the cancellations and closures. What they have done, I think they are creating tutorial videos where you can subscribe to classes, but I will leave it up to her. But if you're interested, have a look on the Old Kennels in Dunkersville. So I'm plugging them, and they don't pay me commissions. Talking of which, yeah, classes, drawings, that's what I lost my food of thought. Some of you maybe who've been in the shop and have been chatting with me before kind of know where I'm coming from, but basically I'm from Latvia, and my generation was the last. I think my college diploma is the last diploma which had Soviet Republic of Latvian Soviet Republic on it. The next year already was Republic of Latvia. So we've been there, we have seen changes. But when I was in design college, I think our college was quite progressive because we were pretty ignorant to all kind of rules. And yes, I remember what I was trying to wear when I was in design college, and my mother was getting absolutely, you are not going out on the street looking like that. No, I'm thinking like, I see some teenagers on the road and I'm thinking like, how their parents let them out looking like that. But anyway, so design college. Design college was very great. I really enjoyed my time, 4 years. And we had perfect tutor for composition and color. There were two subjects which I really, really enjoyed because I guess because I liked the tutor. And she was very, very good and very, I don't know, she passed the knowledge. Where, for example, up till now, I still can't draw and I can't paint because the tutor for drawing and painting was absolutely awful. And all she did was put some bits and pieces for like still life. Then she went off for drinking coffee with other tutors. Then she came back 2 hours later and said, like, you've done it wrong. So I never knew how to do it right. Or I don't think anybody in our class did, to be honest. But yeah, so drawing and composition or colors and composition was really the subject which from the day one I really enjoyed. And we were doing a lot of, on those days, that was, what was it, late 80s, late 80s it was. There was a lot of this kind of pop art, the visual kind of, how you would call it, visual optical art. And that was so interesting to create. And one of the artists, because I will remember, because those days we weren't treated to many foreign art exhibitions, but suddenly there was exhibition of the artist, which was, he was the, at those days I thought he was a master of this kind of visual impressions and kind of very geometric, I lost the word. His name is Wazzarelli. He was Austro-Hungarian, and I think I will try to see if my other helpful object phone, I tried to save, it's Vassarely, and if I manage the images of his work, and oh no, network connection, I think I better don't try because otherwise my live chat. But what I will do, if I can save this video and you can look up yourself, come on, can I do it? Can I switch the network back on? So if my live stream disappears, that's because I tried to show you the artist. Not on that. Where are you? Images. Oh, that is something what we are talking about. He of this kind of visual, you know, and I was looking at it, you know, I would say a few months ago, and I thought, this just gives me so much inspiration. Can you maybe think, I was thinking, how can I knit this? Can I knit this? Can I crochet this? And I mean, if you do your search online yourselves, you will possibly find that it's all kind of built from squares. And I'm thinking, I think crochet possibly will be more useful for it, more useful than knitting. But if I have a chance, if I don't get carried away on my little, finishing my little shawl, I will try to do a little bit of swatching. Oh my God, my phone is ringing. I think I better decline this. I hope that wasn't an order which I just lost. Well, sorry about that. I should have put the phone down. But I thought like it will be useful to show you the things. Anyway, coming back to that kind of visual art, I thought like, can I create that one in a crochet? Can I create that one in a knitting? And I think the best way would be to use color changing yarns. And then I had a good dig around the shop. And dig around the shop. And there is the bag, which I dragged home. New cotton dégradé, 2 colors, clashing, but color changing. It might work. It might work, but that will be like using like something like cafe facet, like 25 colors of felted tweed in one cushion. I'm not really ready for it, so I'm trying to cheat. The other yarn, which I thought could be doing my visual impressions, would be this one, which is the Shepherd's Whirl and the Little Whirlette. My only problem is all this. What I would like to do, I can kind of visualize, and I think what I will try to do is the first thing tonight, I will try to play a little bit, and I will try to draw out maybe the idea. Because the trouble is, these 2 yarns, right, even though they are quite fine, if I would crochet, I think this one and this one together would create a large kind of shawl, poncho, whatever, because it's quite a lot. So if I would want to do a cushion, it possibly would be totally wasted. Am I prepared to start another marathon project? I'm not sure. And the same actually applies to those 2. If I start to use the both balls together, I have awful lot of yarn, because this one is, even though they say it's like DK and you can use 3.5 millimeter hooks, this one, each ball is 800 meters, so I have 1600 meters. So in a double knitting, that should really nearly make a jumper. But I don't think these kind of visual plays should be used on jumper, because you can have very odd looks. You can have if we get it right and the visual impressions, work, then we will have real problem, because we can have a big bum or big tongue or whatever big looking. So I think it has to be a square object. Like I say, maybe a throw, maybe a poncho, might be a cushion, but then it should be very, very large cushion. So that's my kind of plan for the play, which I hope we will kind of progress through to our chats tomorrow and after tomorrow and then after tomorrow, until all this time is over. Because I kind of, I'm in 2 thoughts about all this crisis. Don't touch your face. I think there are a lot of people who are very hard off, and they are the people on the fringes with health issues, financial troubles. They will seriously suffer. But for the rest of us who are healthy, who have no big financial issues at the moment, if we get paid what the government says we will get paid. Don't know about self-employed. Obviously, self-employed again come under different category like me. But if you have had a job, you at the moment been sent home on 80% of your wages. You are at home. Is the place where you always want to get, I wish I could go home. Now you are at home. The weather is lovely. Yes, if you are in a big city in a small flat, it could be very daunting. But if you are at home and you have a front garden or you have a bench, you can put a bench outside. Nobody tells you not to sit outside in the sunshine. You can do all your projects You have nowhere to rush. You can't go shopping. You can't do this. You can't do that. Enjoy yourself. If that is like, how to explain it? This morning, for example, Martin, my other half, said like, "Oh, why don't we bake a fruit cake? We haven't had a fruit cake for ages." I said, "Darling, yesterday I managed to get last 6 eggs in one place, and the fruit cake needs 5. So we can't use 5 eggs for a fruit cake. And I even don't know. We have a little bit of flour left, but if we use half of the flour left for one cake, oh, what do we do after? Is that really a problem? No, I don't think so. We can make jellies. We have plenty of fruit. We still have last year's rhubarb in the freezer. So really, we shouldn't be moaning. So I think there is plenty of food around. It's like today on the way back, I passed bakeries. They were all open. Their shelves were full with bread. They had cakes in the window. So there is no problem. I think it's us who are used to so many good things in life, and we now kind of, if one little thing is taken away, we just suddenly are like, oh my God, what do I do without eggs? Oh my God, I can't bake a cake. No, it's fine. We will bake cake when we get eggs. And if it is in 3 weeks, so it is in 3 weeks. Who cares? It's nothing to worry about. So that's kind of my attitude on this. Yeah, possibly. Yeah, because when we were growing up, I was like when the breakup with Soviet Union happened. And like I was telling people, you will be laughing, we had vodka on coupons. We had 2.5 liter bottles per person, even if you were infant. We had soap on coupons. So you had like 2 bars a month or something like, I can't remember. You had 2 kilos of sugar a month. So my mother had a sugar cupboard. Because obviously, if you had coupons and in the winter, you don't use so much. But we all were making jams. So all the winter, all the families were buying off the sugar, stocking the cupboard. So when the summer comes, well, you can supply another 3 families with the sugar. So it's not that bad. As far as you don't get ill, you look after yourself and keep crafting. Oh, another thing, if I get eggs, that's why the eggs came out. Because my brain is totally gone. I think tomorrow I better write kind of point 1, point 2, point 3, because otherwise I'm just jumping from one subject to other. Eggs. Easter is coming. And last year, I had the pleasure, after nearly 20 years in England, somebody introduced me to eggs. And no, Cadbury's don't pay advertising, because what I will tell, I nearly died how awful they were. I cannot for love or money understand why people buy these horribly sweet, sticky, messy, horrible things. Anyway, so that's about Cadbury's custard creams, I think they were. But when we were growing up, we didn't have chocolate eggs. The eggs were painted. We had a proper chicken egg, and it was painted. If I do get extra eggs, and I mean, because Easter is coming, and I think Easter will be just about, hopefully, end of this period of closures, and I hope that we will be very close to the exit on other side. But anyway, next week I will try to show you what to do and how to entertain your family and kids with eggs, painting eggs. Well, when we were growing up, to be honest, sometimes the best thing was we always used onion skins, and there were sometimes, ferns or whatever flowers were out. And I will show you how to do that, because the other option was, as a kids, we always did it, or we did it like Good Friday or maybe Saturday, because the Easter morning, the eggs already, or we did it very early in Easter morning. And then there was egg fights, and there was all sorts of things going on with them. But it's brilliant to entertain kids, with exception I think that's like now, 4 or 5 years ago, it was lovely spring, and I decided to paint some eggs in onion skins for Easter, right? And I had a nice plate in the window, and the neighbors had two lovely girls, and they were like, what, 5, 7 years old at that time. And so they came out, and it was Easter morning, and I was like, oh, I was very generous. I thought, oh, and I gave them the painted eggs. The look the girls gave me, that was really, it was not what they were expecting. I said, like, oh, yeah, well, it's an egg. It's a painted egg. They did. They looked at me like I would be the mad woman. But we can paint eggs, and I will show you. Actually, it's quite interesting process, because if you like dyeing, like if you like dyeing yarns or something like that, it's very similar, and it's always the surprise when you take the covers off, then then it's just fun. So yeah, and when we were kids, when sometimes there was some eggs left over, because we did like 10, 15 each. It was a proper painting session when you use felt tip pens, because those days we didn't have like a fancy kind of natural colors and all the rest of it. We had felt tips, and then you draw your little men and women and whatever you wanted to draw, or scene or birds, with a felt tip pen, and then you boiled or the eggs were boiled. Yeah, those ones were boiled before. So then you paint your picture, and then you decide to eat your egg, and you take the shell off, and underneath is nearly the full color picture, because the felt tip pens were going through, but it didn't kill anybody. I must admit, I wouldn't recommend to do it at home again, but hey, it didn't do us any harm. So on that note, I think, actually, is my comment working, or have I blocked you all, or you can't comment? Participants. Am I only participant? Who are you, the 5 people watching me? So anyway, so that's about it. I hope my little chat kind of killed half an hour of your afternoon. And you will be back tomorrow. So I will see you all tomorrow, and if not, wait for the eggs. And thank you very much for watching, and hopefully technology will work tomorrow. And I will now go finish my cup of tea, which is getting colder and colder. And 3 o'clock tomorrow again. Thank you for watching.